Hello people, and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time on the channel, a special welcome to you. I ask that you check out the rest of my videos. If you like what you see, give them a thumbs up, leave a comment, but more than anything, I'm asking that you subscribe to the channel. Today I'm going to be sharing my two-piece on 110 Jamaican workers who worked at a high-end skiing and golf resort in Montana in USA. These Jamaicans were discriminated against while working at the resort, and in at least one instance were threatened to be sent back to Jamaica after complaining about the work conditions versus pay. But before I share my opinion on the issue, I'm going to actually brief you and the knowledge that I have as to what went on at the resort. So this is supposed to be a high-end resort in Montana, USA, which served guests such as Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, Justin Timberlake, so on and so forth. Rich people. This is billionaires row. So these Jamaicans got this job through a Georgia-based company by the name of Hospitality Staffing Solution, I believe. Hospitality Staffing Solution. So according to the information that I received, in regards to their salary or in regards to their hourly pay, they're supposed to get tips and service charge. And tips and service charge at this resort is no joke. Tips and service charge. I'm talking about people are getting up to $500 per night as tips and service charge. So that's good money. I mean, that's more money than some people make for a wage on a daily basis, and they're getting that in just tips and service charge. However, as sweet as that deal may sound, this is where the problem came in, because Jamaican workers realized that they were being treated different than the other workers at the resort. For example, Jamaican cooks were getting $12 an hour, where other cooks were getting $15 to $18 an hour. And where the politics starts at the resort is there are some parts of the resort that kind of guarantee you big tips versus other parts of the resort that guarantees you lower tips. And the Jamaicans were not given an opportunity to work in the area where the big tippers were going to be. So after one Jamaican complained, he or she was told that you could be sent back to Jamaica, pretty much deal with it. And even though they weren't getting jobs in the areas that the big tippers were the areas that they did get jobs in, tips still went on and service charge went on. But they did not see a reflection of tips and service charge in their paycheck, which would be in respect to the contract that they've signed. Sadly, and I say sadly because from my view, it's sad that of the 110 Jamaicans working at this resort and being mistreated, only 5 were courageous enough to file a lawsuit against the resort and the staffing agency. I mean, the way I look at it is like this. You see the other 105 who did not file a lawsuit, who did not initiate some compensation for being mistreated. The remaining 105, in my opinion, represents what I call a transparency of ugly truth among Jamaicans, at least most Jamaicans, who still have that yes massa, no massa attitude, which translates to pretty much take what you get in Jamaica. I personally have a problem with that. Coward men may keep sound bones, but in my opinion, it makes them lesser for men or lesser for women. My belief is that one should stand up for their right in all circumstances, and if it means you have to die poor, then you die poor, but at least you die with your dignity. But come to think of it again, we all gonna die poor because we came here with nothing, and despite how much we earn in this earth, we will leave here with nothing. It pains me to see coward black people, and it hurts me even more to see an unintelligent black person. A coward and unintelligent black person equals a slave in my view. Someone who is afraid to have a voice. And when I say have a voice, I don't mean someone who is afraid just to utter mere words out of their mouth. I mean, on my channel I've been compared to other Jamaican vloggers on a lot of occasions. I pretty much has never replied to any of those comments, but now that I'm on the subject, I'll just say, what makes me different from other Jamaican vloggers, from my perspective at least, is that I'm not afraid to rattle cages. I'm not afraid to call out names. I'm not afraid to shine light on who I think is an abuser. They're afraid to make enemies in the name of utter truth. They're afraid to rattle cages. Maybe they're afraid because they don't want to lose a foreign status, or they don't want to lose a particular job. You see, I'm totally different. I do this for the love. I don't do it for the likes. I do it because this is something that I enjoy, and I do it because I believe in human rights. I believe in freedom for all, in particular black people, my Caribbean people, my Jamaican people. And if my platform allows me to do that, to give them inspiration, to give them some motivation of muscle to stand up for their right and have equal treatment in this world, this is what I will continue to do on my channel. It's a shame that when it comes to foreign employers, the conception or misconception that they have of people like us is that we are dumb, we are naive, we're ignorant, we don't understand law, we don't understand regulation, so they can treat us thus any kind of way. I mean, this kind of experience is not new to me, and I'm happy when I have subjects like this to talk about, because then I can inject my personal testimonies. I mean, I've lived overseas for many years, and over my years of working for other people, the minute they see your identification that says you're from Jamaica, I see where you get a double standard treatment. But fortunately for me, I've always been that stone in the shoe for most of these employers, and I hope that they have learned a lesson over the years for encountering with me, because you know what? All the employers that have mistreated me or attempted to mistreat me, I've always taken them to court. And I am proud to say on my channel, for all the employers that I've taken to court and sue in court, whether it be for breaking their contracts or underpaying me, people, I've never lost a case in court. I'm not a practicing attorney. I label myself as a legal consultant because I didn't pass the bar. I didn't go as far as getting a license to practice law. But I studied law and I use my legal knowledge every time. I don't put that on my resume. I don't put that on my CV. I just apply for jobs. This is when I used to job hunting and looking for work. And there was one particular job that I had where I was employed as a night manager at a renowned hotel chain. And after working there one night, I received a call and they said they won't need me for the following night. So I was pretty much stunned at that. And they said they'll call me. And the following day, and the following day, and the following day, nobody called me. So I called them back and I was like, am I going to get paid for my job? So the guy says, no, you're not going to get paid because you only work one night. I was mad, people. I worked a shift from 11 at night till 7 in the morning. And this fool is going to tell me he's not going to pay me. Come to find out, this was a scam that they were running. They would call people to interview, and they would tell people that they're giving them a test night. And you would work one night and they would not call you. And the next day they'll do it to another person and another person and another person. So every day of the week, they have a fool working as night manager who will not get paid. I took them to court. And what was supposed to be a job that was supposed to pay me something like $30 an hour, when I went to court, I brought all my qualification and I told the judge that as a professional, I do not work for no less than $80 an hour. And for this job that I done, that is what I want. I want $80 for every hour that I did, and I also want the $20 that I spent in buying a shirt, especially for this job. And I won. I got my money and I left them. And there were other instances where I took other jobs to court for similar reasons. But what I'm trying to use my testimony to say, I never lose. And I never lose because I was never in the wrong and I was never afraid to take them to court. This is a business contract. So where these Jamaicans in Montana is concerned, They need to respect contract. I recently did a video where I mentioned that in the video that Jamaicans do not respect contract. People, away from the camera, this is what I do for a living. I'm a writer, and within my writing scope, contract writing is one of my biggest. I write contracts for a living. And from my professional knowledge of writing contracts usually include a mutual and legal binding benefits for both parties. So in every contract, there is either a split down the middle where the contract is in your favor and the contract is in the other person's favor. Or some contracts varies where the two parties leave agreeing to terms that satisfies them. So contract varies, but in regards of what I've read, the information that came through to me, if the contract says you're supposed to get tips and service charge, then you're supposed to get tips and service charge. And they didn't get their tips and service charge, so they said, you know what, I'm gonna sue this company. And you know what, I say sue them for way more than you were supposed to get on your contract. Because personally, I've benefited over the years from foreign employers having that misconception of Jamaicans, that we are dumb and we are still slaves in a modern world. And you know what? I will say to any foreign employers that's watching at the moment, continue to do it, because you know what? I keep coming up on top, because what I would have earned in pretty much a month or 6 months with them, most of these violators have allowed someone like me to take them to court and earn 6 months or a year wage in a day in court. So they can continue to do it because they think black people, Jamaicans in particular, that we're dumb, we're ignorant, and we're coming from a very dark age, and we don't know what a contract look like. We don't know what words and papers mean. So I decided to quickly touch this watch because I could relate to it. A lot of people just have this conception that if they're from Africa, if they're from the Caribbean, they are not so bright, so we don't have to go by the book with them. It's a privilege for them to be here. They're more grateful to us, so we don't have to pretty much fulfill all the terms and conditions of the contract. Because what bothers me after reading the article was the simple fact that the Jamaicans were told that the reason why they don't get tips and service charge is because they're not from the USA. How insulting is that? So you're not from the USA, thank God that you are here, just take what you get and go. The other 105 bothered the hell out of me, man, because I can just tell that their attitude was like, I need them to call me back again, so I don't want to rattle anybody's cage, I don't want to upset the boss, I don't want to upset the supervisor, so I'm just going to go, yes boss, no boss, smile, 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 and you know what, they'll like me. People, I understand that Jamaica is hard, and you want the opportunity overseas to work and you want to make the money. But if you sign a contract, both parties need to respect that contract. You need to show up at work every day and the boss needs to pay you per the contract. And I understand that desperate men do desperate things. But self-respect and dignity is more valuable than any money. I know that some of y'all are gonna write and say self-respect and dignity does not pay bills and does not put food on the table. But I'm telling you, from my point of view, I'm not letting nobody in this day and age treat me like a slave. They have to respect me as a man. If I sign a contract while other people getting $18 an hour and my contract is for $12 an hour, then that's my bad. I signed for 12, so I have to get 12. But if they gave me a chance to renew my contract and I asked for 18, because I know other people getting 18 for doing the very same job, and they want to give me 12, I'd rather to walk away. We have to make sacrifices in this life. We have to do things to set a precedent. I see men over history have done it. Only recently, a United States of America football player who was earning millions took a sacrifice of kneeling and lost his whole contract, which valued millions of dollars. And I take my hat off to those people, because as much as he need money to live, he realized that as a celebrity, as someone who has the platform, he has to set a precedent to make a change in this life, people. So I understand that you need the US dollars and you believe that you should just take what you get and let people walk over you. But I'm saying no. I'm not for that. I'm not in support of that, and I would not sit up here on my channel and tell people, well, boy, you want to understand all the thing rough yard, so just deal with it and hush and keep quiet. If we take that attitude, people, our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren will be treated the very same way because we didn't stand up. We didn't set a precedent for them. Jamaican, black people, we need to stop being cowards. We need to demand respect from our peers, and we need to demand respect from those who tend to look down on us. It bothers me because they mistreat Jamaican people so much, and when they go to Jamaica and have their vacation and return back to the United States of America, they have the greatest stories to tell, how warm the Jamaican people were, how friendly and helpful they were, but at the same time, they want to treat us like dirt. So I applaud the 5 Jamaicans who decided to take it to the court, and I hope you guys walk away with millions. It's not all about the money for me. For me, it's the respect, and I hope that you set an example for the rest of Jamaicans. That's pretty much all I have to say because this one kind of upset me. But before I go, people, you know I have to big up some people. Big up yourself to the maximum. And the first person I want to big up today is a subscriber by the name of Knowledge Knows Blake. The next person I want to big up is Mega Shredder 101. And for the 3rd time on my channel, I want to big up my subscriber Nas Drew. Big up yourself to the maximum. Alright, people, let me hear what y'all have to say about this one. Let me hear if y'all had any personal experiences, how you dealt with it, and what is your recommendation, suggestion, or advice to people who may encounter such experience in the future. As you know on my channel, people, I accept thumbs up, I even accept thumbs down. I accept agreement and disagreement because on this channel, each one teach one. Until next time, people, peace.